Hello everybody, I am Keaton, this is Kid Catholic Season 7, Episode 12, and I'm super excited for today's video. I will be talking to you guys about NCYC, which is a Catholic conference gathering of 20,000 Catholic teens in high school in Indiana. It was an absolutely incredible experience, and so I'm going to go through like day by day what I experienced, what it was like my first time there. But before we get into that, I took a lot of pictures at NCYC, and if you want to see them, I have them on my Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is kid.catholic, Facebook is Kid Catholic, so you can go look at them on there, and please do check them out because it was an awesome time. Also, check out my website, kidcatholic.com, and please don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below and the bell next to it. That way you get notified when I come out with a new video. If you subscribe, it really helps support my channel. Also, please share this channel and video with your friends and family. So yeah, let's get into it. So NCYC, I had absolutely no idea what to expect. I knew that it was a Catholic conference, and I knew that there were going to be speakers there, and that was about it, right? I knew nothing else about it. And my church wasn't going, so I was going with a completely different group. I didn't know any kids there. Me and my brother, we didn't know any kids in the group. Our cousin was in there, but that was it, right? And so we were like kind of nervous going into it because we didn't know anybody. And we went on a bus with the Archdiocese. Little did I know it was going to be a 14-hour bus ride, which was super fun. It was the most miserable bus ride of my life. Luckily, we have some school friends there, so we hung out with them, but it was miserable. 14 hours is way too long. I don't think that should be allowed. Anyway, so it was a 14-hour bus ride, and we showed up at NCYC, and the first time we got there was walking into Lucas Oil Stadium where the Colts play. That's where it was. There were 20,000 kids there. And so I had absolutely no idea what to expect when we walked in there. And when you walked in there was a big stage in the middle of the field, and there was just a ton of people, right? There were a ton of people. It was insane. I knew that 20,000 people was a lot of people. I knew that there were going to be a lot of kids there, but that was a lot. It was an insane amount. And so we walked in, and I was just overwhelmed by all the lights and the stage and the concert and everything going on. It was incredible. The first concert was King and Country, which is actually the best. They had the best Christian music I think I've ever heard. They were absolutely incredible. I downloaded their album immediately after that. They had the best Christian music I've ever heard. It was awesome. So that concert was awesome. And for the first general session is what it was called. It was in Lucas Oil Stadium with everybody there. So everybody went to them. We had some awesome speakers, and we had two MCs. And they were awesome. And yeah, so basically the first night was just an introduction to NCYC, what it is, what to expect. And it was a late night because then we got back to the hotel and we did small group with our group. And our group, like I said, me and my brother, we were nervous going into it because the only person we knew was our cousin. But they were absolutely incredible. We made awesome friends in this group. They were so nice, so awesome. And I'm really excited to keep in touch with them and keep talking to them. So yeah, that was awesome. That was the biggest nerve of mine, the biggest fear of mine going into that, and it turned out to be one of the best things coming out of it. So that was awesome. We got back to the hotel and we did small groups. We talked about how those speakers touched us, what we thought of the bands, what we thought of the band, things like that. And it was a late night. And on the bus ride, I tried my best. On the night before on the bus ride, I tried my best to get as much sleep as possible. I genuinely tried my best. But I only got around literally 5 minutes of sleep. And I was to the point where I was so tired that I was basically just energized, And also, by the way, I forgot to mention on the bus ride, we got to wait outside for 20 minutes to get Chick-fil-A, and it was totally worth it. Anyway, so yeah, we woke up the next morning to go back to NCYC. We had the general session in the morning, which was basically the same thing as the night before, but with more speakers, with more concert. And then, so next was the exhibition hall, and this was the first full day, right? This was the first full day. So we went to the convention center where they called it the Village, this huge exhibition hall, with a ton of booths. And I've been to something like this before, but never to this scale. There was so much. It was crazy, the amount of stuff they had there. There was. I looked around, they were everywhere. And then I went to Paul J. Kim's Breakout Session, which was basically a heaven and hell talk, right, about eternity. And that was really good. I love that talk. He was also a beatboxer. So he did beatboxing and he incorporated it into the talk. I don't know how that's possible, but he did it and it was really, really good. I loved it. And then the rest of the group, we walked half a mile to the city market, which is basically a mall of food, and it was amazing. And then this is something that's super awesome that happened. We came back to the convention center to be interviewed by Busted Halo. I got to see Father Dave again. I got to see Brad. I got to meet Christina. I met the other two, but I never met her, so that was awesome. I got to be interviewed by them. It was short, but it was awesome. I love that experience, be able to see them again. That was my third time being on the show, and Busted Halo was absolutely amazing. So I was so happy, so grateful to get to be on it at NCYC. Like, the thing was, I knew a lot of people who were going there, who were going to NCYC, but there was just so many people. It was so hard to like find them, and so to actually get to meet Father Dave, that was absolutely awesome. And so I did the interview, and I'm very grateful for my chaperones, because like the chaperones, like one of them like took me back early from lunch to be able to make the interview, which was super, super awesome. And I'm super thankful that like they were able to accommodate that. So yeah, and then we walked around the exhibition hall some more. There's a lot of things to shop at. They had bouncy houses, inflatables, which of course just are the greatest thing ever. And then that night was adoration. Well, before that night, obviously, we had food, because food is good. Food is very good. But we had adoration, and this was an incredible adoration. We had the general session in the stadium, right, where we heard the talks, the concert, everything. But then we had about a 45-minute adoration. It was an absolutely incredible adoration. There were 20,000 kids in there, but it was dead silent, right? You could look around, you could see people like having intense encounters with Jesus. I myself had an encounter with Jesus there. Like, you could feel his presence, and it was absolutely incredible. By far, like, one of the best adorations I've ever been to. To think that there were 20,000 kids there. A lot of them like came up to be and lied prostrate, came up to the stage and lied prostrate to be closer to God. Like 20,000 teens. I haven't done that in a while. It was incredible. It was absolutely awesome. I loved that night so much. It was so cool to see, you know? And like later the adult speaker came on after adoration, and she was talking about how there was this actually might have been the next day, but there was this old man who she heard about, who was back home watching the NCYC live stream, and when he saw the kids go up to the front to be closer to Jesus and lie prostrate, that he started crying. Because he saw 20,000 of the youth dead silent worshiping Jesus, which is absolutely awesome. It was an incredible experience. We got back to the hotel, did the small group again. It was late, and for some reason, we had pizza like 3 days in a row. And so we got back to the hotel, did the small group. So it was late when we went to bed again, and then we got up early for the final full day. Now, this day was the day I had my talk. I was actually lucky enough to be able to do a breakout session with Michael Marchand and Tony Facinda of Project YM. I've known Michael for a couple years, and I've worked with Project YM on stuff before. So I was super excited to be able to go and give a talk. And so that was today. And first we had the general session in the morning, which was the same thing as it is the concert, the talks, which never gets old, by the way. It was absolutely incredible because, I mean, first off, it's in the Colts Stadium, and I'm a sports fan, so you know that's cool. But second off, it's Jesus, and it's 20,000 kids worshiping and praising Jesus, which is absolutely incredible. And then we went to the exhibition hall some more. We went, our group actually went to a separate chapel to pray, and we were in there for like 45 minutes. So we had another adoration throughout the day, which wasn't a part of NCYC, but it's something that our group did. And it was absolutely awesome. There were a lot of other people in the chapel, and it was just cool to have another adoration day. So that was awesome. And then we came back and we had Jimmy John's. Finally, something other than pizza. It was really good. You gotta love Jimmy John's. I'd actually never had Jimmy John's, and it was good. It was better than I expected. Food review. I need to start doing those, maybe like 30-minute food reviews. I could do it. I love food. Anyway, I was trying to be funny. I don't know if that worked. Anyway, and then I left early to go to my talk. And I walked in there. There were about 400 to 500 kids who were in there, and I'm super grateful. My whole group went, and then I knew some of my school friends in a different group. They went, and their whole group came, and so that was super awesome. There were 400 to 500 kids there, and it was like, because there were 3 of us doing it, we all like had little parts in it. My first part was I was talking about why it's important for the youth to share our story, right? To share our encounter with God. Not everybody has an encounter with God or a story yet, but if they like keep their hearts open, then eventually they will get there. And so my part was to go and explain why it's not just an adult's job, basically, to tell their story, why it's not just an adult's job to evangelize in the first place, and how us kids need to do it too. So that was the first part, and then the next part was basically like my story and my encounters with God and how God has worked through my life and why I'm so passionate about the faith was the next part. And I thought it went really well. Kids liked it. It was really awesome. I got to meet some kids afterwards. I got to meet Emily Nicole after the talk, which was awesome. She is a fellow Catholic YouTuber. She's an awesome Catholic YouTuber. I've watched her for a while, and so I got to meet her, take a picture with her after. It was really great to get to meet her in person because I'd never done that, right? And then I also got to meet Mrs. Ron, and she is a teacher at Our Lady of Perpetual Help in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And the great thing is, like, her class watches my videos, and so it was really great to get to meet her and say hi to her. And her class actually like wrote me this note, and they all signed it, which was really, really awesome. I'm bummed the class couldn't be there, but she was there, and I got to meet her, which was also awesome. And so that was like an awesome experience, being able to speak at NCYC. I didn't like fully grasp how big that is, but like that's the National Catholic Youth Conference. I even neglected to mention the first night there, the Pope made a video like basically shouting out NCYC and how he's praying for them. And it wasn't just like a I'm praying for you video. He literally said youth of NCYC. He made a video like saying that he was praying for us and saying that he was hoping for us to encounter God, which was absolutely awesome. And then like a day later, I was able to speak at that, which is absolutely incredible. It was an incredible experience. All my friends were like super supportive of it, and everybody seemed to be supportive of it, which I'm super grateful for. And then we had free time to walk around the exhibition hall. I went with like 4 other kids in our group, and we decided that we were going to sit down and try to sleep because we were exhausted, which I didn't do, but I got to sit down for a little bit. And then our group went to Qdoba, which apparently is pronounced Qdoba and not Quidoba. I've always pronounced it Quidoba. That was good. And then we went to an ice cream shop, and me and like these other 2 kids needed to go to the bathroom. And so they gave us a key and told us to go to the basement. And then we got in the basement. Basically, it was absolutely terrifying. There were like corridors with a ton of doors. I don't know where those doors would lead. It was scary, man. It looked like an insane asylum. I wanted to get out of there. There was a sign that had a security camera logo on it, and it said, "Feel like you're being watched? You are." Oh, no thank you. It smelled bad too. I'm lucky I survived that experience, man. That was terrifying. Never want to do that again. Anyway, we got back. And for the last general session, this was Saturday night, for the last general session, we had Mass. And my first thought was, how are they going to give communion to 20,000 kids? But they did it very efficiently. It was actually a fairly quick communion for giving it to 20,000 kids. And it was an absolutely incredible Mass. There were so many priests there. I didn't think it was even possible to have that many priests celebrate one Mass. But they were. There were a ton of bishops there. Like, I've never seen multiple bishops celebrate a Mass. Like, well, maybe at Steubenville, but, like, not that many, you know? Like, there were a ton. So it was really awesome to see. Really awesome to be able to receive communion, encounter Jesus again there. And then after that, after Mass, we had a little mini concert with, like, 2 songs just to end it. And it was super fun. And then after that, we got back on the bus for a 14-hour bus ride that I actually slept on this time, which I was very proud of myself for. I did it. And then we got home that Sunday. So it was an absolutely incredible experience. Overall, NCYC was probably like the best weekend ever. It was way better than I even expected. I don't know what I expected, to be honest, but it was way better. There were so many like breakouts to choose from. So there were so many things you could do. So many new people there. So many people to meet. I got to make new friends in my group there, which was absolutely incredible. I'm very grateful for them. And yeah, it was an absolutely incredible experience. NCYC is once every 2 years. So I'm super excited to go again in Indianapolis in 2 years. And if you have the opportunity to go to NCYC, I highly, highly, highly recommend you go to NCYC because it's gonna be like the best experience ever. So much better than you could ever think. It was absolutely incredible. So I highly recommend you go to NCYC because it was an incredible experience, and I'm very grateful for Michael and Tony for bringing me on to speak, allowing me to speak at their breakout session. And I'm just very grateful that everything that I experienced there, and of course grateful for God for allowing me to go there and allowing me to experience NCYC for the first time. And I'm super excited to go again. So now that the topic is done, do y'all know what it's time for now? It's time for
the Saint of the Week.
And today's saint of the week is St. Catherine of Alexandria, and her feast day was yesterday, November 25th, and she is an absolutely incredible saint. She was born around the 3rd century and died around the 4th century. And she was very educated, always very smart, but she wasn't like religious when she was little. Until she was 14, she had a life-changing vision of the Blessed Virgin Mary and Jesus, and then she decided to convert to Christianity. And then it was around the time where Emperor Maxentius started persecuting people for being Christian, and so she came to him and tried to denounce his ways, tried to say like, no, what you're doing is wrong. She came to him like, imagine the bravery. She literally came to the emperor who had been martyring people, and instead of executing her, he decided to get around 500 philosophers to debate her. She was a teenage girl versus philosophers, and not just one philosopher who failed, 500, and to debate her, and they lost all of the debates. People were moved by her words. A ton of people converted because she won those debates. Now, she was imprisoned because of that. The Maxentius had enough, and Maxentius gave her one more chance by proposing to her. First off, Maxentius, the emperor, what did you expect her to say? Did you expect her to say, oh yes, of course I'll marry you? No, she refused. She said that she was married to Jesus and to the church, and so, not to Jesus. She said no. She said no to him, and then he had her executed and martyred. But her story is absolutely incredible. Oh, and later, Emperor Justinian had a monastery built in her name, St. Catherine of Alexandria. And so her story is absolutely incredible. Imagine the bravery to go to the emperor. Not only that, but the bravery to debate, the knowledge to debate the Catholic faith as a teenage girl, right? And then the bravery and the ability to say no to the emperor and to stand with your faith. To stand with your faith. Not only did she persecute people, she persecuted some of the philosophers who she was debating. How incredible is that? So she's an absolutely incredible saint. Anytime we feel fearful to be proud of our faith, because let's be honest, it can be hard to be a lot of times now in today's world, right? It can be hard to be proud and be open about our faith, but St. Catherine of Alexandria was just that. Anytime we feel that way, we can pray through St. Catherine of Alexandria for help. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let's see where to start. There's a lot of things in the outro. Please visit my website, kidcatholic.com. You have all my videos up there. You can buy your very own Kid Catholic t-shirts up there. You can contact me. You can read about me. There's a photo gallery. A talk that I gave is up there. There's so much you can do up there. So please go check that out. And please check out all 3 of my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The link to all 3 of those will be in the description down below. On my Instagram and Facebook, you can see a ton of pictures from NCYC if you want to go check that out. Also, how can I forget? Please subscribe. Please click the red subscribe button down below. That way you get notified when I come out with a new video. If you subscribe, I'm talking really fast. If you subscribe, it actually really helps my channel out, helps support my channel. Another way you can support my channel is by going to amazon.com/shop/kidcatholic and just use that link whenever you buy anything from Amazon, and I get part. I get part of the commission, so I have a lot of people asking money-wise, how can we help support your channel? That's an easy way to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video. Please comment any saint or topic suggestions that you might have. I will see y'all next week, and hi Brielle.